Let's look at question 6 now. John measured the times in seconds it took 18 students to run 400 meters. Here are the times, and there are 18 numbers here. We need to draw an ordered stem and leaf diagram to show this information. So we'll start first from drawing stem and leaf diagram, which is not ordered yet. So as you can see in the paper, they left some space for you, so perhaps for you to be used for drawing unordered stem and leaf diagram first, and then ordered one. So let's look at our data and create unordered stem and leaf diagram first. Okay, so therefore let's say we'll draw a line and several horizontal lines. And now we are ready to start. Our numbers range from, say, 61 to 103. So let's organize our stems in tens. So we'll start from 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100, and our units will be leaves. Okay, and first we'll simply rewrite our data in this stem and leaf diagram way. Okay, 67 will be written as 6 and 7 in our table, 78, 7 and 8, 79, done, 98, done, 96, 103, 75, 75. Please write all the leaves in nice order, one under another, leaving enough space between each column. It will be easier to work later. So 75 is done, let's cross it. 85, 94, 92, 61, 80, 82, 86, 90, 95, 90, and 89, done. Now we need to make order in our leaves, so the first numbers would be smaller than the last number in each leaf, which is question 7. There are many correct answers, which is really good to know that you feel quite comfortable. So it is an equation with x's on both sides. So let's look at what side we have less minimum number of x's. It is on the right side 11x. So we'll take 11x from both sides. We're getting 13x minus 11x will be 2x plus 1 equals 8. Now we subtract 1. We're getting 2x equals 7. And x is going to be equal 3.5. As usually, you must do a check, if possible, 13 times 3.5. If that would be possible without making a mistake, please check that the left side is equal to the right side. 3.5 is the answer. Okay, and now question B. Show that y equals minus 2 is a solution of this equation. So there were two different ways of how you could do this question. If y equals minus 2, one way to solve it. If y equals minus 2 is a solution, then the left side should be equal to the right side when I substitute y equals minus 2. So let's substitute y minus 2 into the equation. that is left hand side, and left hand side will be equal to positive 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2, plus negative 2 is minus 2, which is minus 4, and right hand side is 2 times negative minus 2 for y, right? So positive 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. As you can see, left hand side is equal to right hand side. So, and then you write the conclusion. So y equals minus 2 is a solution of the equation. Another way of showing that y equals minus 2 would be a solution would be simply solve it. So we've got an equation where 4 was divided by y plus y equals to y. So to undo dividing by y, I would multiply by y both sides. So we are getting 4 plus, don't forget to multiply y by y2. Alright, so we are getting 2y squared, and subtracting y squared from each side, getting us 4 equals y squared. So y would be plus minus 2 after square rooting both sides. Alternatively, you could subtract y from both sides, okay, and to get 4 over y equals y, and then multiply by y both sides, you will get 4 equals y squared, and again square root both sides and you will get y equals plus minus 2, which is a proof that y equals minus 2 is a solution. Alright, and let's look at the next question. Question 8. So most of you could not solve this question when actually the only skill that would need to solve this question was just read it. Jim has only 5p coins and 10p coins. The ratio of the number of 5p coins to the number of 10p coins would be 2 to 3. Work out the ratio of the total value of 5p coins to the total value of the 10p coins. So look, if the number of coins, of 5p coins, right, to 10p coins would be 2 to 3, then the value of the 5p coins would be 2 parts. Each part is worth of 5p, right? So I can multiply by 5p and to get 10p for the left side, and 3 parts, each part would be 10p, so this part would be 30p. So now obviously we need to give you our answer in simplest form, so we'll divide by 10 and we'll get 1 to 3. That's it. That was the entire question. And finally, let's look at question 9 very briefly. In question 9, you've been asked to draw a frequency polygon. And when it comes to statistics question, where you will be asked to draw either frequency polygon or frequency diagram, or pie chart, or stem and leaf diagram, or cumulative frequency graph, everything what you need to do actually to sit down and properly learn the key features and the differences between different ways of representing statistical data, and just stick to the rules and do it correctly. Alright, for frequency polygon, for example, you are supposed to learn that we use midpoints of each interval and frequencies. We plot the points, midpoints for the data. And remember that we always have frequencies on the vertical axis, so we have midpoints on the horizontal axis, 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, and we plot them against their frequencies. We plot the points, and I would like you actually to draw crosses so your points would be clearly seen, because they will be checked, every single of them. And then you join these points with a straight line, using obviously a ruler. Okay, that's everything what you need to know for this question. Don't make mistakes. And then finally, question B asked you about the model class interval. If we'll go back to the data, to the table, model class interval. First of all, now let's look again at the question itself. So the question was phrased this way: write down the model class interval. So the question asking you, write down an interval, right? What kind of interval? Model class interval. So what does it mean, model? Model comes from the word mod, which is most frequent. So you need to look back at the table and to find out what interval was most common. Looking at this frequency, you can see that the biggest number that you had for frequency would be 20, right? So therefore, if we will use 20 here, so we are going to use this interval, 0 to 10, and that's everything what you need to write in the answer line. Okay, so therefore let's go back to the answer line and let's write our answer. L is more than 10, more than 0, and less than 10. Okay, that's the final answer for this. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question 10. Question 10 is about standard form numbers. First of all, you should remember that standard form number is a number written as a product of two types of number. One is a number n between 1 and 9, so n is between 1 and 9, not bigger than 9, not smaller than 1, and another part is a power of 10. So here is a number written in standard form, and we need to write as an ordinary number, and we are lucky with this number because we're not given a negative power, we're given positive power. So everything what you need is just to write your ordinary number. 10 to the power 5 is a number where 10 multiplied by itself 5 times, so we've got to write 5 zeros, and then you move in decimal point 5 times, so you're getting 6, 4, 3, and 3 zeros. Here is the answer, and as an ordinary number. And now we need to work with this calculation to present it in standard form. So first we will multiply numbers. 2 times 8 is 16, times 10 to the power of 7 and minus 12. When you add 7 and minus 12, you are getting minus 5. Now ask yourself whether this number is written in standard form or not yet. As you can see, although here you see power of 10, the first part, although, is not a number written between between 1 and 9. So we need to make it smaller. So we write 16 as 1.6 times 10, and then again times 10 to the power of minus 5. Please do work slowly, carefully. So 1.6 is now good for us. It is a number between 1 and 9, but 10, power of 10, needs to be polished. 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power minus 5 is going to be 10 to the power minus 4, because you add in the powers, right? So the answer would be 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 4.